Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Garbage Mice podcast. Welcome, welcome. Artillery is in the building here in the studio with us here in bright and sunny California. He exists once again. He's back from the grave, and he actually has something to reveal to us. Artillery is doing his gender reveal, and I was surprised when I got the news. He went to the gender clinic, and they told him that he can handle more testosterone. He has enough, but he can handle a lot more. So he has actually transitioned from male to sigma male.
To sigma male now, baby. Yeah, yes. That's right.
Omega male Artillery popping into the podcast to bless us with his extremely high testosterone takes.
You know, it's funny, the testosterone has really helped my growth. It's reignited my skeletal things. So now instead of being 6 foot, I'm 7 foot cubed.
7 feet That's right, cubed.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Most doors don't fit me anymore.
To get into your apartment, you need like a freight elevator.
No, dude. I'm Sigma. I just punch a hole through the wall. Easy peasy. I don't care about wind. I don't care about the cold, about the heat. I don't care.
Kind of like you did with your bike on 9/11 last year.
Hey, shut up. Oh, my head still hurts whenever I remember that. Anyway, I did want to reveal something, actually. The Sigma male thing has a bit of truth to it. See, ladies and gentlemen, I actually did go. And I regret to inform you that for the last year and 9 months, you guys have been listening to an autist, to someone who's fucking mentally handicapped. How does it feel?
All right.
How does it feel to be that fucking gullible?
Explain what you're saying, and then I got a serious question for you.
Okay, I'll answer serious questions.
But it's not a serious question.
Oh, shut up. I'm trying to have a serious moment here, pal. Come on, give me a minute.
No, go ahead, and then I got a question for you. It's a hard-hitting one.
So, I'm going to go through the whole process of the, rediscovery more, but ever since I was a kid, I just knew I wasn't like other people. Like, I was different. Something about me just didn't click. And recently, for some events, I had to do a bit of soul searching, and I realized that I've been autistic this whole time and been trying to hide it, been trying to be anything but, to be normal, so to speak. And that obsession kind of took its toll. So I want to talk about this more. Look, Red Sante, I can't explain.
First of all, I have a question for you.
Yeah,
you're coming out as autistic. Do you think that people didn't already know that?
See, this is the worst part about it, is a lot of you fuckers already knew.
Like, I really don't think that it was that hard. I really don't think it was that hard to tell.
It's been an identity crisis for me for the past 22 years, Red Sante.
Yeah, I could tell, like, within a couple months of knowing you, like, yeah, this guy's got a little bit going on.
Yeah, and that little bit is a fucking mental disability. It's not a disability. It's a difference. It's something developmental. It is actually something I can't help being autistic. I can help with the ways in which I may be hard to deal with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and you'll notice even on the podcast here, I would go rambling on and on and on. I would just fucking focus on one topic for 45 minutes of the episode. I would just want to talk.
I definitely remember that.
And not listen to Red Sante and what he says. Not that I don't care about Red Sante, but I just couldn't give less of a shit about the boring subjects he has to offer. Dude, come on. I got the interesting stuff.
You don't want to talk about cryptocurrency, dude?
Maybe we're both a little autistic here. Yeah. So, it is something I want to talk about. And not just the autism, but a lot of it. Over here, a lot of you know my life story. A lot of you know my, shit I've been through. But not how it affected me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, take us back to the days of the streets.
All right.
Oh, I just thought
What
you cut
streets?
out.
Oh yeah, the home country.
Yeah. Spit some knowledge for us.
All right, so back in home country. It's an obsession with home country. This is what I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I keep I don't know how to quantify my autism. I just don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how I can tell you like okay, here's an example. In middle school, a girl was hitting on me. I realized that about 5 years later. Uh
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people have had that though.
yeah, fair enough. Maybe a lot of people are autistic. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
here
probably the case. I wouldn't doubt it.
here's one. Here's one. Uh my obsession okay, for the longest time I thought I was an evil and abhorrent person because I have a bit of a dark fascination with like fucked up videos, like seeing people get fucked up.
Yeah, live leak. Let's go.
Like yeah, exactly. And it was since a very young age. And like knowing that I'm like this and that it doesn't affect me the way it should really fucked with me. Really fucked with how I see myself. Like am I an evil person? And all the dark evil fantasies, hurting people I love, yada yada, all like and very graphically. And these thoughts keep recurring, and I'm like, I must be evil. I must be a horrible person. I deserve. Turns out it's fine. Like that's just the autistic baseline for being normal. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
I
Yeah.
think you explained it better the other day when you said you gave the actual term for it. I think we can look for that real quick.
Morbid. See, I have the photo downloaded. I remember
Yeah, you sent
discovering
it
it. I
to
was
me.
looking. I was looking for counselors. I was
Um,
looking for counselors for my autism, and one of the support groups was for children who have that obsession with gore, death, and whatnot. It was called what are these?
I'm
Is,
looking
is
at the
this?
picture right now. It's morbid unicorn,
Yeah.
expertise, ADHD, autism, transgender.
So that's another part of it. A lot of transgender people are autistic.
Yeah, that makes
It,
sense.
no, it's like 90% to 95% are diagnosed. It's incredibly fucking. If you meet a trans person, they're likely to be autistic, which
Yeah.
also falls perfectly in line with that other X, the transgender one. Turns out a lot of the symptoms my ex had were symptoms of autism. Being a very picky eater, very sensitive to light, sound, all that shit. We all thought, oh, my ex was like full of shit, but turns out no. My ex is more autistic than I am.
That's a hard challenge. I got
It
a medal
is.
for that one.
Dude, parents are struggling and they don't know any better. And it just kind of hurts. I actually reached out recently and I apologized because I also thought my ex was full of shit. I also said like, hey, you need to do better. You need to stop doing these things. Stop like my ex would go, oh, I can't eat this food. I want to vomit if I eat it. And it's perfectly good food. And we're like, you're full of shit. Come on, just eat your meal. Turns out, sign of autism. Well, I didn't know. Nobody else fucking knew. Dude, do you realize how fucking hard it is to like read a list of symptoms and being like, oh no, this is like a posthumous eulogy. This is like somebody wrote a biography about me, but it's a list of symptoms for a sickness. You know how fucking hard that is? It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, eating the same meal over and over again every day. Turns out, not me being lazy or not knowing what to do. Autistic people just do that, and I do that, dude. I got. I don't want to say fights with my parents because that's like shitty. But for the longest time, I'm like, oh yeah, I like eating. I go through periods of eating different foods, and once I start on a food, I eat it for like 2-3 months, all the same time, same breakfast, same lunch, same dinner. Turns out, just autism.
I don't know, I've done that before, just out of like laziness.
See, laziness is one thing. I was not lazy. I was like diligent, depending on the food, of course. Some of it you have to cook, some of it not. But
I
yeah.
remember one time I went like weeks straight just eating nothing but pasta. I felt terrible.
Why the fuck would you do that?
Because someone told me, hey, you want to eat cheap, just eat pasta. And so I pulled the rusty cage and I bought tons and tons of pasta. And then I just ate it for like weeks. And I felt
Oh,
terrible.
wait. You ate. Did you have sauce with the pasta?
Yeah.
Or is it just like eating raw pasta? Like
well,
you're just cooking it and eating
it like evolved over time. It was like I started out with just the pasta and the water. And then I figured out that I could add salt to it. And then I could.
I can add salt. Brother can add salt to pasta.
And then I figured out that you can add sauce. That was a game changer when I figured out you could add sauce.
Meatballs. Come on, please tell me you discovered meatballs in the technology tree.
I eventually got to meatballs. That was like the end game. Like I got to chicken first. Like I was putting like chicken in the red sauce in the pasta. And then I eventually got to meatballs. And then I just was so sick of pasta that I didn't want to eat it ever again.
Dude, are you sure you're not also autistic? Because this sounds like shit I would do. Like, I started with noodles, then I discovered I can add cheese to noodles, then chicken, then, like, I get creative with it. Are you sure you're not autistic as well?
I'm probably a little bit. Like,
Just a
okay, I'm
little
gonna
bit.
pull up the symptoms right now. We're gonna do a check.
Oh my god. Oh no.
Oh my throat is like still dying.
Dude, look, go to the Wikipedia page of autism spectrum disorder, and there's a photo of a kid stacking cans.
I'm looking at that right now.
Repetitively stacking or lining up objects is a common trait associated with autism. Great. So normal people don't do that, apparently. It's just the weird people.
What do you
Fine.
stack? What's your stack of choice?
Gold, baby. I
You're
stack
stacking
gold chains. I stack silver.
I stack a lot of that cheddar, boy. So I must be on the spectrum because I'm stacking that cold hard cash all day
I'm
long.
stacking gains. I'm stacking gains. Have you seen my fucking body transformation? We're gonna talk about that.
You sent me those pictures. You're like ripped now.
Yeah, dude, it feels so fucking good. Like, holy shit, I can. It's not that I was weak before, but that compared to now, I was weak, and now I can like just fucking punch a hole through some concrete or whatever. It's great.
All right, I'm looking at the symptoms right now. I don't think I really fit this.
Okay, maybe you have some autistic traits,
Yeah,
but
I probably have like
no, for me,
the very mild ones.
for me, it's like the fucking all of it. All of it. It's some bad sleeping habits that. Okay, bad sleeping habits maybe apply to everyone. See, there's a scene in The Sopranos. You ever watch The Sopranos?
I have not because it's really long.
Fine, but where Tony Soprano is, complaining how they're pathologizing every little behavior his kid does. It's
Yeah, don't
different.
spoil too much for me if you don't have to, because I
Look,
kind of do want to watch it someday.
Look, all I'm saying is this. A lot of the time, this fits, and a lot of the times I try to not act this way, but that just leads to me acting. I've always known I was not the same as other people, especially in my childhood. In my childhood, it was very hard to socialize. So, with time, I grew. I always look at my weakest point. And all right, we're gonna get into the heavy topics now. You ready?
Yeah, sure.
I've always looked at what I consider to be the weakest point that I had, and I've always wanted to grow in these points, to change, and a lot of the times it's successful. But a lot of the other times, I go about it in a very roundabout and wrong way. Let's just put it that way. So,
This is like the worst possible time that this could happen. I have to let my cat in.
Jesus Christ, Red Sante. Red Sante's cat strikes again. Geez, some things really don't change, huh?
Alright, so he was like screaming outside the door. I had to let him in.
So, yeah, I was just saying that when I saw that I was very bad socially, I forced myself to learn how to be social with people, to make eye contact, to do all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And eventually I got good. I got a little charismatic. Another part was, all right, I saw that. I don't know. I always look at that weakest part of myself. And for the longest time, that weakest part in my mind has been I'm different. Right? I'm not
Yeah.
normal. Like, I've always chased that sense of normalcy that I felt like I lacked.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. And I think that was a very bad idea.
Hmm.
Another part of it was, as you guys know, I've been away from my family, away from my country, and working very shitty jobs for the past, well, not the past 2 years, but basically 3/4 of the last 4 years. I've been humiliated, I've been broke, I've been, beaten down, and treated less than favorably. I'm not gonna lie. I consider myself quite intelligent.
Why do you think you've been treated that way?
Because I'm working minimum wage jobs at places that don't give a fuck. I've been
Oh,
I've been
okay.
denied bathroom breaks. Like people, they're not treating me wrong because he's retarded. No, they're treating me wrong because they can. Like they're lying about me in my job. They treat me like like I'm basically nobody. Like I'm some fucking homeless guy they got from the streets to work there. And this is not being judgmental on homeless people, but they treat me with such contempt at my old places. At the old restaurant where I talked about, at the fucking supermarket that I talked about. Have I talked about like them denying me bathroom breaks, about them
Yeah, I
lying about me
remember
not doing
that.
my
We were
job?
joking about you like peeing yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Except,
That was like a
you know,
year
the
ago now. That was a while
it
ago.
was it was a year ago. But these things stick with you. If you don't, what I did, I wanted to be stronger. I didn't want to let these things affect me, even though I was feeling so fucking humiliated and burned out. So I went to the opposite extreme. I became very narcissistic in a way. Another part of it is after meeting the previous ex we're talking about,
Yeah.
I was shocked that this person I can relate so much to in terms of experience, in terms of childhood, in terms of interests, in terms of how we behave, is very dysfunctional. And so are most of my friends. Even that guy I talked about that, I went to his home to get that book, and then he didn't talk. He didn't talk to me for a while. Like he just sat on his computer doing his own thing.
Yeah, that guy. I
He,
remember that.
he's he's unemployed, and I look down on him upon this. I look down on these people. I'm very judgmental towards them because I I put my self worth in the value I can produce. It's weird to explain, but it came from my own hatred of my. I felt like I knew they were like me in a way. I knew they were different, and that scared me. So I remember talking to that ex a lot of times. I'd be like, "Well, I'm a productive member of society," because I considered them not to be. And I was a bit of a dick. I was very much a dick to people.
Yeah, well,
So
it's good to realize that. That's a
it's
good
good.
part of getting older is realizing those kinds of things.
Yeah, I know,
And
and
you know, Probably a dumb question, but you think that this is a pattern that's going to continue, where you're going to realize more stuff in
No.
the future?
Well, of course I'm going to realize more stuff in the future.
Yeah.
Of course I am. Nobody. Here's the kicker, right? I'm going to realize these things, and I'm going to fix a lot of them. For some of them, I'm going to overcompensate, and I'm only going to find that out in the future, where I realize, all right, I had this problem, I tried to fix it, and I may have gone a little too far in the other direction. So I need to recenter again. This is just something that keeps happening. Nobody's perfect, and nobody acts perfectly all the time. Sometimes we just fall off. So I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. At least now I have a baseline of like a community I can compare myself to. Like other fucking autistic people.
The recording can probably hear my cat screaming at me again.
I can hear the cat. Just let it out, dude.
Okay, give me a second.
Just fucking punt it out the door.
I'm not gonna
Just
punt
kick
him
it
out
away.
the door. I'm not gonna do that to him. Don't you dare say that about my cat. I'll be right back.
All right, just give me a second.
Oh my! That poor little guy
You punted him?
being talked bad about by a Syrian man, by a 7x7x7 foot
Well-
cubed Syrian man.
It deserves it, okay?
No,
it
he
deserves
doesn't.
it.
Yeah, what were we even talking about? I know I was gonna say that that whole process that you just described is one of the benefits of getting older that I look forward to.
I mean, we're getting older, right? By the
Yeah.
minute, right? I came to Canada, I was 19. I was a dumb kid. I didn't know what I was doing. And even now, like, I'm 23. I probably still have a lot that I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. You've
Yeah.
got
But
a while
at least
left.
at least now I have, I can accept that. I was very stubborn. And again, part of autism. Autistic people are very stubborn. I know very much how true that is. But, this is one of those things where if I really put my mind to it, I realize what I'm doing and I can stop it.
Yeah.
And I want to focus on that little judgmental point a bit because
Okay.
it never really came from a place of hatred. But you can probably hear it on the podcast as well, couldn't you? That I just kind of don't look at everybody equally. I feel,
Yeah, and that's fair. Not everyone is equal.
not everyone is, but there's
Some
a
people
specific...
are like murderers, whatever.
Yeah, but
Go
I'm
down
not
the
looking
list.
at murderers this way. I'm looking at like people who dye their hair this way, people who get tattoos and like smoke cigarettes this way.
Yeah.
It's I was a very judgmental person and shit. I shouldn't have. I was striving to live again that perfect, ideal, normal life, and I was mad for everybody else because they weren't trying as hard as me to get to that point. Even though that was the wrong thing to put my efforts into.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
And if we go back to this, I had an obsession with being, taking things very stoically, about being strong, about being whatever, to the point where instead of feeling things, instead of feeling humiliated when a boss talks down to me, or instead of feeling upset that I'm broke, or upset that something happened, or listening to sad music, I just tried to distance myself from emotions, which is something autistic people do. But
Yeah.
I don't know. If you do that long enough, it's all gonna come back to bite you eventually, somehow.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was doing fine for myself in life. It wasn't like it was affecting my ability to live. I had a good job. I was finding friends. I had a community around. I wasn't a bad person, per se. But these qualities about me really, really were negative.
Yeah.
were negatives in how I dealt with people, with my family, with my friends, my all these things, and I
Yeah.
didn't even really know it.
And I think that it is somewhat admirable that you take it this seriously. Like you found flaws in your own character, and they hit you pretty hard. Like a lot of people have that problem where they know that there are things that are wrong with them, but they just don't care. But you discovered them and immediately took them seriously, and now
It was
you've sort of figured out how to solve a couple of them. You know, some of them you're not quite sure on yet, but at least you
I
care.
I've always wanted to solve problems within me, but my focus was always on the wrong problems. Like, oh, I have a, and this is a problem, but I had a, porn addiction. I got to focus all my effort on that. When in reality, I had many bigger problems to take care of. I was obsessing over the wrong things. Let's put it that way. I was obsessing over, sleep, caffeine, you know, all the things that were outside of who I was, instead of really looking inward.
Yeah.
And I knew there was something wrong. I just didn't know what it was. Also another thing. Uh, you know how autistic people like get special interests and they won't shut up about them.
Yeah.
Can you guess what my special interest has been for the like year?
Catholicism.
Shut the fuck up!
It's Catholic
Don't say it
hour.
out loud. Shut up!
It's Catholic hour with artillery. Everyone
Shut
gather
up.
around. He's gonna speak for the next 45 days about,
Shut the fuck up!
about something.
That's Santek. I'm gonna kill you.
Alright, come to California and do it. Do it on live stream on this channel.
I'm gonna sacrifice you at the altar of a Catholic church.
Just do it on stream and it'll all be worth it.
I hate how you just said it. I hate how you didn't want me to say it. You just went for it. Fuck you, man.
I don't know.
Can you at least soften the blow a little bit?
I don't know. You'll have to ask for your soul to be saved from the blow. I'm not
I'll
gonna
have,
be the
I'll
one
have
to
to go to
save it.
confession. I'm gonna have to go to confession. Forgive me, Father, for I have
Forgive
sinned.
me, I was too devout.
I was too devout.
Forgive me. I was
Forgive
too
me.
Christian. I was too good of a follower. I preached the word too often that people hated it because they heard it too much.
Forgive me, Father, for I loved Christ a little too much.
I drove my anti-Semitic podcast. I drove the analytics into the ground because I was preaching too much. Forgive me.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. What have you done? I kind of read St. Thomas Aquinas a little too much. Kind of read too much Bible, okay? Too much Bible.
A little too many Sunday schools.
A little too many. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of funny when you think about like, I'm going to be honest. I'm still Catholic,
Yeah, of course.
but not that. There was a little incident with one of my Catholic friends, and
Oh, what happened?
I was talking to him about something very specific to me regarding, and I'll get into it later. But he was like, "Well, this is wrong, and you're fucking it up, and this is like you're such an idiot for doing this and that and this." And I'm like, "Dude, this stuff is normal back home. You know, this is how people talk back home." And then he paused for a second, and he wanted to sound really, really smart. And then he said, and I'm not saying this as a literal comparison, but, in some other parts of the world, people kidnap their wives and they're like, well, this is tradition. This is how we do it back home, yada, yada. Uh, like, dude, I'm talking about language we use when talking to people, when talking to family, when talking to friends, when talking to loved ones. And you're comparing that to me fucking kidnapping my wife in a car in some fucking shitty part of Southeast Asia. What, because they're both Eastern? It was that little moment that made me realize that I'm never really going to fit in with Catholics. I'm like, I'm going to be there. Like, I'm going to go to, Sunday Mass, and I'm going to be part of the community. I'm going to love them. But there is going to be that fundamental part of me they're not going to understand, which is they grew up Catholics in the West, and it's all these little differences in how you talk and how you express yourself, versus me who grew up in the Middle East in a predominantly Muslim country. You know, it's some things that I do and say will be like, oh my God, I can't believe he said it. Like, I can't believe he says these things. Well, they're normal to me. And in those little differences, I don't know. It was a very blackpilling moment for me. Is this how you really see my people? Is this how you really see my friends and family just because they're from the Middle East? Like, do you see us all as equal to kidnapping and fucking forcing our wives into marriage?
That's how a lot of Americans see the entire Middle East.
And that's how that guy saw it as well. And that guy was one of the
Yeah.
people I respected. That's what really hurt. That guy,
Oh, that's too bad.
and that was when I realized, hey, maybe I'm not like fucking this guy who's been going to church for the past, who has not missed a single Sunday mass since 1995.
No, he's too devout. Yeah. He
Yeah,
needs
a
to
lot of my
apologize for that.
a lot of my friends were very devout. Uh, but yeah, that was the blackpilling moment, and you know, I I've kind of put the in, well, again, still, if you ask me, if you ask me, is there a God? I will say yes. If you ask me, what religion do you believe in? I'll say I'm Catholic. But for now, I'm just putting it on hold because it had become an obsession.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good idea.
Shut up! Couldn't you at least say like, no, it wasn't that bad?
Okay, it wasn't that bad. You only took up 45 minutes out of every podcast. No, I'm joking. I talked for
See,
a good chunk of time about Bible stuff on the
yeah, but Bible
stream
stuff
I did.
is different than submit to the Pope, you fucking heretic. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Anyways,
All right, what else you got for us?
what else?
We were going to talk about
So,
c-
yeah, I am.
cigars.
No.
Or the
We're
other
gonna
topic.
we're gonna go through the whole thing.
All right.
All right. So, you want to know how I realized all this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
You know how hateful, how this whole time I'm somebody. I'm me, but I've hated myself and I wanted to be someone else.
Yeah.
And I was working very hard at it. I became very good at it. I really became good at being somebody else, somebody who I wasn't. And then I got rusty caged.
He got rusty caged. He finally
I
admits it.
I got cheated on, and I got dumped. I want to give this piece of advice to anybody listening. If you forgive someone for cheating on you, and they say they don't want to be forgiven, it doesn't. That person just doesn't want to be in your life anymore. Just forget about it. Move on. Don't dwell on it for too long. Otherwise, made a fool out of myself. Basically, I couldn't believe it. But eventually I got cheated on. I got dumped,
Yeah.
and
And you were telling me that like this is a big L for you because we made fun of Rusty Cage for so long for being a cock. We made fun of him every day for like a year, and then you get cucked.
this is
You get
part of being
rustied.
judgmental. Really, this is part of being too fucking judgmental. It's like, well, we're all human at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
and Rusty has an alternative lifestyle, cuck. Uh, and if he's happy in that lifestyle, like fuck it, who am I to judge? If he's unhappy, well, fucking do something about it, retard. It's funny,
Yeah.
the autistic guy calling Rusty Cage a retard. It was at that moment more than anything. It would have been really easy to just go. The world is bad. Everybody else is bad. Fuck. I want to blame uh, the war in Syria. I want to blame everybody else for my ex for cheating on me. I want to blame everything like that. But But I realized, and I felt like this for a long time, that I've not been myself. And I realized I had a part to play in it as well. And so it led me to go back, to sit down, and to reflect upon all these things. And I'm going to be honest, it is a breaking up. If you have a friend going through a breakup right now, and trust me, I've been through a lot of shit: death, war, fucking immigration, loneliness, fucking shitty jobs, being humiliated, yada, yada, yada. Breakups are probably the worst pain anybody goes through, because you're mourning somebody who's still alive.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
That is true. Somewhat.
Yeah. I didn't understand it. I genuinely didn't. My brother had been through a very similar thing where he had the same kind of relationship arrangement I did, and she also cheated on him. Yeah. It's a little complicated, but basically they broke up, and when they did, he kind of wasted his life away, And I always didn't understand it. I always wondered, how can he let a woman have such control over him? Like,
Yeah.
for 2 years.
It's scary, man. Like you get messed up.
I know. And for 2 years, he really, really had a hard time just moving on from it and living it, taking care of himself. And again, I didn't understand how. I hated him for it, but now I really understand. Like, I really understand the pain. I really understand how it could ruin somebody. But I'm literally fucking built different, alright? I am autistic, bro. I get that fucking Forrest Gump brain, baby. Fucking life's a box of chocolates, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. You know what I did?
What? What'd you do?
You know what my favorite breakup song was? This is the benefit of being autistic, alright? Let's start with the big show, woe is me talk. Dude, every day, I'd wake up that morning, and I'd listen to Alabama 3's Woke Up This Morning. I would listen to the Sopranos intro song.
Yeah, I'll put that as the intro song for this podcast. We'll start the podcast off right. We'll do that.
Dude, there's this part in it that goes, "Don't you wish you didn't function? Don't you wish you didn't think beyond the next paycheck and the next little drink? Well, you do. So you make up your mind and go on, because when you woke up this morning, everything you had was gone." And I'd be like, "Preach, baby, preach! Yeah!" I'd be like, "Yeah, I wish I didn't function, but I do. Yeah, I wish I didn't think beyond the next paycheck and the next little drink, but I do." So you know what I did every morning? I made up my mind and went on. I'd wake up crying, weeping, fucking writhing in pain and agony. Listen to that song, be like, "Yeah, brother, preach." Go to work and fucking destroy the metrics. I got messages from my boss being like, "Dude, chill. You're doing too good at your job. You gotta slow down. You're so fucking good right now." Dude, I'm up in line for a promotion, I swear to God.
Let's go.
They're straight up like skipping a promotion to promote me to the next level after that. I've been doing so fucking good at work.
Artillery the CEO coming soon.
I've been like, instead of I'm fucking Forrest Gump, bro. I'm autistic. I don't give a fuck. Yo, was I in pain? Dude, worst pain in my life, but I don't give a shit. I do. But not in that way. Dude, I straight up became Tony Soprano for a while. He was literally me for a while. Dude, I started smoking cigars.
You started smoking cigars. I did not start smoking cigars, but I went to a cigar-ridden environment because there's a city. Actually, it's so far away from me. I'll just say what it is. It's called Temecula, and it's like a gold rush town where like it was literally built in like the 1850s, and they have a cigar shop there that is like straight up from like 1859 or something. Like it has been around for that long. And me and a couple of homies, we went over there, and they all wanted to like start smoking like pipe tobacco and stuff like that.
Apparently, pipe tobacco is like not healthy, but not as cancerous as cigarettes, and definitely not as cancerous. Well,
Yeah,
Cigarettes
definitely
are more
not.
cancerous, and cigars are are less, are more cancerous than pipe tobacco.
Hmm.
Anyways,
Yeah, that's sounds about right.
dude, I started smoking. I, it felt like it would be not. I'm gonna talk about the cigars in a minute, but I've actually, after the breakup, I decided to put in the work. Right, I was not taking care of my body. I decided to start dieting and working out. I My mental health is in shambles. I became fucking narcissistic. I started going to counseling. I'm going to therapy nowadays. I knew back in
Mm.
the day, my position was if you go to therapy, you're a pussy. Old artillery would have been very angry with me, but that guy's kind of fucking stupid. All right,
Yeah, the old
and who knows,
artillery is dead. He's buried somewhere in a Syrian grave.
dude, and ironically, fucking killed me. Born a new fucking phoenix right up in this bitch. This is the power of autism. The power of autism. You can just kill yourself and start anew.
Yeah, you killed Travis Bickle. You killed the
I
Travis
killed
Bickle
Travis Bickle.
Wojak. He is no
Yo,
more.
he is no more. I'm no longer that fucking hateful, woe is me, like, no longer that lonely taxi driver, literally me type. I'm the
Yeah, which we're gonna
fucking
talk about
autism
later. We're
creature.
gonna talk
We
about
are gonna
Taxi
talk about
Driver.
it. Yeah, if Red Sante finally fucking watched it
Yeah,
after I changed my profile photo. Thanks,
yeah.
Red Sante.
There was like
After I
a
stopped being
Travis
Travis Bickle.
Bickle Wojak sitting right in front of me every week, every Sunday for a year and a half. There was a Travis Bickle Wojak staring me down, and I never watched the
You
movie until
edited
now.
photos of Travis Bickle. You carefully fucking photoshopped the hair follicles out of that Wojak to put on so many different characters, and you still didn't watch Taxi Driver. But
Yeah, but
oh,
I did
also one
watch
more
it
thing.
now.
One more
Yeah,
thing. Stoic philosophy.
yeah,
I recommend everybody read it. Like, look, if you're gonna put in the work to yourself, it has to be from a healthy mind. It has to be from a good mindset. And I recommend everybody read Marcus Aurelius and what was that other guy? Fucking Letters from a Stoic. I don't know who wrote it. I don't remember the name at least. But reading philosophy just helps. It puts things into perspective. And you know,
yeah. Just reading generally is good for you, but
reading generally, yeah, but
yeah, reading
those ones are
philosophy is
approachable.
good.
Marcus Aurelius, I specifically like him because he was a Roman emperor as well and a philosopher. So it's like, dude, practice what he preached, and he was like top 3 Roman emperors ever. So if it
Yeah,
works for the leader of the world, it works for me. Trickle down economics and whatnot.
yeah. That's exactly how it works.
Another part of it is, you gotta stop bottling up emotions. You gotta cry when you gotta cry. You gotta laugh when you gotta laugh. You gotta live the good, the bad, the ugly. You know, you gotta go through it all. And I don't
Yeah,
know. After the breakup,
preach.
no, after the breakup, there was this realization that inside me, I always feared that side of myself, the emotional side, the sad side, the side that I thought was gonna make me dysfunctional, was gonna affect my work, was gonna affect my journey. Because I'm responsible for myself here, and I can't afford to be weak. And I always saw that side as weak. But I realized there was nothing to be afraid of, really. It was all still me. It wasn't
Hmm.
two natures fighting in front of me. It wasn't the the good rational artillery versus the irrational artillery. It was just artillery.
Yeah.
Very volatile and explosive artillery.
Yeah, and I mean it's good to see it that way. It's like, oh, these are just minor things because a lot of people have the kind of problems you have, and they blow it up to be way bigger than it actually is. Like, oh, this is gonna be like a permanent thing. Like, I'm never gonna get out of this. But there's a
It's
middle
hard.
ground that you have to have. You have to care, but you also can't care too much.
It is a middle ground. It is hard to manage emotions, and it's if you don't care at all, it's gonna blow up in your face. If you got to know how to control it and how to express it at the same time, how to feel it, and that's a hard middle ground to find. It's when you're under a lot of stress, it really shows. And a lot of the behaviors I learned, how to act quote unquote normal, how to do this, do that, I wasn't able to, they take focus, I need to focus to do eye contact with someone. Straight up. And people noticed. People noticed that I was acting different, I was acting weird. And at the same time, I wasn't myself anymore because I was myself. The self they had grown to know was different than who I really was. It's weird. Look, don't be autistic, okay? If I had to recommend anybody,
Yeah.
It's genetic. You're born with it. But if I had to tell you, just don't be.
Just choose not to.
And but if you are, and this is the important part, if you are, you can't choose not to be autistic. You still have to be autistic. It's something you can't control it, but you can control how you act. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was drinking water. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, look, it's okay to be fucking weird and retarded.
Yeah, it is. It's okay. Everyone is at some point in their life, and
But
then
dude,
just one day you're not anymore. You're less weird. One day.
it's not that you're not anymore. You either accept it or you don't. And some people don't accept it, and they become very miserable.
I guess
I know those people.
that's a better angle to have than what I just said. If you learn to accept it and have some amount of confidence despite your issues, then that's going to go a lot longer. That's going to be stretched a lot further than trying to fix every single issue. Because you're never going to fix every single issue, so you just have to learn to live with the ones that you can't fix.
Yeah. And I really feel bad about the way I treated myself. Like, more than anybody. Yeah, sure, I've hurt people, I've been stubborn, I've been an asshole, but I've been that way to myself. And I'm not saying that, I'm the biggest victim of myself. Nobody was my victim. I didn't, fucking kill anybody or cause anybody to overdose, or I always came at people with the best intentions.
Yeah.
But not myself. I never treated myself with the best intentions. I've always treated myself as the freak, in my story. As the big monster guy, because I used to watch gore videos when I was 12.
Yeah. Man, it would probably be a good transition to just go into Taxi Driver in a little bit here. I think we've got a little bit left.
Oh, what do you mean a little bit? We still got to talk about, me moving on from living back in home country, deciding to accept Canada.
Yeah.
What else? Accepting that, sometimes trans people do exist and I have to deal with them. And
that's a hard pill to swallow. I don't want to think about that one.
Living, I want to live the moment now. Okay, let me just wrap this up real quick.
You can go over
Basically, stop judging people. Well, I'm not telling you. You probably haven't judged people in a very long time. I'm the judgmental cunt here. I'm still gonna judge Richard for wearing that fucking fursuit all the time. It is the creepiest fucking thing I've seen in my life. It is terrifying. It looks like a rabid fox. I want to shoot it. Okay. That is my cheat, You know how people who go on a diet have like a little cheat day? That is my cheat judgment.
Cheat day.
That's my cheat day. It's just
take off the fursuit, shave that fur off.
Shave it. Fucking shave it.
Get rid of that ass fursuit.
I imagine that if he shaves it, it's just gonna be human skin underneath, like it's a Buffalo Bill thing. It looks that terrifying.
He's just wearing like a leather suit.
Like a human leather suit, right? Like he fucking kidnaps people. It puts the lotion in the basket, or it gets the hose again. Richard, you're fucking
I'm a
terrifying.
Big fan of the fursuit. It's brought a lot of kino to the Garbage Mice.
I am terrified. Why do you think I've been gone for months? You think it's because of I need to work on myself? You think it's because I was hurt? No, it's because Richard terrifies me.
He's gonna show up one day
He's
to
gonna
your
show up.
building.
Dude, those videos he posts of him breaking into his own house. I have nightmares where he's breaking into my window. Like I can see his face right outside my window. It is not fun. This is why I've been going to the gym. It's not so I can, look better. It's so I
Yeah.
can fight him off
You
when he
need to be
finally shows
7 feet cubed so that you can have a 1v1 with the fursuit man.
Yeah. And I want to talk about. It's a lot to talk about, and it's a journey of personal growth, and maybe I won't be able to talk about all of it. So instead, I'm going to talk about cigars. Uh,
Yeah.
I instead of I really felt like I needed to smoke, but I hated cigarettes so much that I was like, I'm the snobbiest fucking person around in history. I'm not gonna buy the cheap shit. I'm not gonna buy Coca-Cola. I'm gonna buy the fucking cane sugar soda. I'm not gonna buy the McDonald's. I'm gonna buy the A&W. I'm not, I'm gonna buy the organic fucking Guru organic energy drink. I don't buy Monster. I buy the organic shit. And finally,
And you're really
instead
part
of
of the upper class. You're one of them.
dude, this is part of my autistic narcissism in a way. And you know what? This is one part I'm not gonna let go of. Fuck your Coca-Colas.
Also,
I'm gonna drink.
are cigars like really expensive in Canada? Like, is that like a
Dude, they're
thing?
like 30, $40 each if for a good
Phew.
cigar. Some of them
Oh,
like
for a good
the
one, that's not that bad. I know
yeah.
around here when we went to that shop, it was like 15 for like an average one, like 10 to
D-
15 bucks.
depends if it's machine wrapped as well. Like I don't want to buy the machine wrapped shit. Even though it's good. My first cigar was
Yeah.
machine wrapped. It was a
You don't
it was
want
a
none of
Cuban Cristales.
those machine wrapped cigars. It's got to be hand rolled by a guy who
Dude,
hasn't washed his hands since like 1995.
dude, that's how you get the taste. That's how you get the subtle difference in aroma. See, with
The
cigars,
aroma of the fingernail dirt on my
dude,
cigar.
I am not fucking joking when I say this. My first cigar. Yeah, I've smoked cigarettes before. They do nothing to me. I've smoked like premium cigarettes before, and they do nothing to me. But that first cigar, straight up, I felt high. I was
Really?
giggling. It was, dude. I started smoking it,
I don't think it's
and
supposed to hit you that hard.
dude, it hits so hard. It's so relaxing, right? It's like I don't know if it's like the inhalation, the taste, the nicotine. I don't know what it was, but it was such a fucking good feeling.
I imagine it
It
would be the nicotine, but yeah, I don't know.
it was so relaxing. Like my mind was in a million different places. Oh no, I'm disabled. Oh no, my wife left me. I miss my wife, Tails. I miss her a lot. Uh,
Yeah,
and it was all that shit, and then one hit like
it's all
two
gone.
puffs of a cigar,
That's how
and
an
like,
addiction starts, man.
dude, I smoke like once, like twice a month at most. I haven't smoked in a very long time. Like I smoke, yeah, like every other weekend. It's nothing. It's
Hmm.
on one hand, I don't want to get addicted, obviously. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and on the other hand, it's not like you have a pack of cigars and you pick one up every time. Like, oh, I want to smoke something. See, that's the difference between cigars and cigarettes. And cigarettes are full of shit. All right, they're full of chemicals. They go to like a chemical waste plant, and
Oh
instead
yeah,
of
they like
throwing away the
hand
waste,
dip
they just
the
put it.
the
Yeah, they
cigarettes
just
in
put it
like
in the cigarettes. I swear
a
to God, it's
green
not.
bucket of like titanium and uranium ooze.
Yep, it sucks ass. So I hate cigarettes, but cigars, dude, nothing like that. But don't inhale it because you're gonna fucking be coughing your lungs out.
Oh yeah, no,
Never inhale a
you just
cigar,
like get it in your mouth and then that's it. I've
dude.
hit a cigar once. It was like 2 years ago, something like that. It was just yeah, like one puff of a cigar and it just kind of tasted funny and that was it.
Dude, my brother, he's been smoking cigarettes since he was like 11. Like smoking multiple packs a day. And I go and we're sitting and he's like, "Want to have one final smoke before we both quit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So we go and I bought him a Nicaraguan cigar. Hand rolled, very expensive, very premium, very heavy as
Oh
well.
no.
And you know where this is going. Like
Oh
we're just
no.
sitting on a bench and I have mine lit like, and it's so relaxing, such a fucking good feeling. And he's like,
He's
He's
just
dying.
coughing.
He's dying because he tried to inhale it, and then he keeps trying, and he's like,
no.
"Dude, this shit's too heavy."
He's trying to
He's,
inhale it.
he's like, "This shit's too heavy for him." Dude's been smoking since before I was born, and his cigars are a different beast, man.
He's trying to inhale the cigar. Okay, that's pretty funny. I didn't see that
Dude,
coming.
I straight up fucking bought the cigars because it. Dude, you saw that cigar photo. Don't tell me it doesn't look like Tony Soprano.
And it looks great. You
Dude,
look like a straight up baller in that picture.
I look like a gangster. I love it.
I can like blur out your
No.
face.
I don't
maybe
even
put
want
it
to
on
share it,
screen.
dude.
Okay.
I don't even want to share it. Yo, you want to know what I look like? Go outside, buy a fucking Cuban cigar, pay like $40 for it, light it up,
smoke
sit
it in
on
the mirror.
porch. Dude. So
Yeah.
I'm addicted. Fuck.
I was gonna say that just reminds me of like, I'm trying to inhale the cigar. That reminds me of a video that I saw. You know the angry grandpa, that guy, the YouTube channel.
No.
Oh, well, there's a channel called the Angry Grandpa, and it's about an angry grandpa, and they have like millions of subscribers. And there was a video a long time ago where they pranked him by rolling up like a catnip blunt.
Oh my god.
They had the grandpa smoke it. And
What happened to him?
He just looked like he was having a rough time.
What is catnip even? Is it like...
It's like a plant that gets cats high. I give it to
Yeah, but
my
does it
cats.
get people high?
No, it doesn't do anything to people. So
Based.
he was just smoking catnip.
Dude, my brother?
It was
My
like
brother?
the harshest thing.
Dude, okay. So, just so you know, the Syrian word for weed, or Syrian, the Arabic word for weed is grass.
Yeah.
It is literally the same word for grass. So, my brother, in middle school,
I see where this is going.
he had some rolling paper with his friends. And he was like, hey, you want to see me smoke some grass? And they're like, yeah. And so, as a joke, he put some grass from the ground in the rolling paper, rolled it up, tried to smoke it, and apparently he started throwing up. He started dying on the
That's what you
spot.
get for trying to smoke grass.
His friends thought they had to go to the hospital. I swear to God.
I know a guy who smoked a talkie, it's like a chip. You know what those are? Do they like have them in Canada?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Why?
I have
How?
a video of him doing it, and he's wearing a Trump shirt in the video, and he smokes a talkie.
Does he actually fucking inhale it?
Yeah, and then he like starts coughing his lungs out.
Oh my God, dude, we gotta get that guy on the spinner of cursed dinners.
I don't know about that one. He would if I asked him to, but I don't know.
He's like a little too methed up, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, fair enough.
All right. What
let's...
else do we gotta go here? Do we got movie talk, and then we're gonna end this off because we're already at an hour.
Yeah, but are we seriously gonna end an hour? Fucking Return of Artillery here. And
Yeah,
you're like, oh, but it's been an hour.
Well, I want to do movie talk eventually. Well, it's not really movie talk. Kind of is.
I want to talk about this, right? Remember what my friend told me?
Which friend? What did he tell you?
All right. I've known this guy since I was in Syria, basically.
Okay.
And we're online friends, but he knows my life story. He knows what I've been through. He knows about Syria. He knows about the troubles in Canada. He knows about the shitty jobs. He knows about, being cheated on. He knows about all the awful things that have happened in my life. And I was talking to him also about discovering that I'm autistic and how much that had really been shocking and kind of a game changer for me. And what he wanted to say, if I had to translate, was, you know what, Artillery? I commend you for your strength and fortitude of character, because had anybody else had gone through this, I'm not sure they would be doing as well as you are in trying to improve yourself and working on your problems. What came out of his mouth was, you know what, Artillery, if I were you, I would have killed myself.
Yeah. I remember that. Based
That's how it
friend.
felt.
He's telling it
If I
how it
were,
is. He calls it how he sees it. He is
if I,
spitting. He is absolutely spitting facts.
yeah,
Artillery, if I were you, I would
I
no
would have
longer
killed
be
myself.
alive.
And you know what? I think that is the most fucking based thing anybody has ever
That's a
told me.
pretty based compliment to give.
Like straight up being like, "Yo, dude, I do not have the same fucking power and fortitude as you. You're fucking great. I love that guy, 100%."
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. And want to talk about fucking Lord of the Rings first
Yeah, we can
or
do
Taxi
that. Then
Driver?
we'll talk about Taxi Driver.
Uh, so my friend group, they were organizing a like it was a very extended friend group. I had people I didn't know there, but we were organizing a Lord of the Rings marathon. All three
Yeah, which
movies,
is
the
like
extended
12
cuts.
hours long.
It is 12 hours of just one story. It's the three movies are 3 acts. It's great.
Yeah, and you have to tell them, when did you arrive to watch?
See, I didn't want to spoil this part, but basically, I've watched like I went through the entire trilogy with them. We joked, we laughed. It was great. I enjoyed the experience. But I arrived like an hour late. I missed the entire first half of the first movie. I arrived while the guys were leaving their little fucking village. I didn't know who Gandalf is.
As
I didn't know who Sauron is or
after all
Saruman.
of the lore is explained, Artillery is about to sit himself down on a couch and sit there for 11 hours straight to watch a story. He
I don't know why
misses
they
the
gotta destroy the
first
ring.
hour.
I don't know why they gotta destroy the ring. I'm just there for the ride. Some dude dies, and I'm like,
Like,
oh
oh, who
no,
was that?
not white guy, not white guy number 2.
Man. I
It
thought that
was
was so
great.
funny. It's like, oh, you're gonna show up to engage in this story, and it's a significant time commitment, and you show up an hour late, so you just have no idea what's going on the whole time, 11 hours straight. You're just lost.
Dude, when I discovered they were going to Mount Doom, I laughed my ass off.
Oh man.
Yeah, because apparently it's called Mount Doom, like in fucking He-Man and She-Ra. Great. That's where fucking Skeletor lives.
Yeah.
Dude, everybody was dressed in costume, right?
Yeah, you sent me that picture of the girl that had the
The
sword.
massive fuck-off sword that's as big as me, yeah. That was awesome. We cut cake with that sword. It was so
Yeah.
good.
So for anyone wondering, there was a picture that I was sent of a woman holding a like literally a 6 feet long sword, like
You can tell because you can
something
compare
like
my size
that.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like a legit sword. It's like I'm surprised that thing is even legal in Canada. Like she probably is gonna get like raided by the Canadian FBI once this episode goes out and it's exposed that this thing exists.
Dude, it's so heavy as well. Like it
Yeah.
was
How do you
nice.
even
But if you,
transport that thing? Like you gotta
fuck it.
you gotta stick it out like the sunroof of your car.
Dude, you got a sword. Who's gonna fucking talk to you about it? Nobody cares.
Yeah,
Like, who's gonna fight a guy who has
the
a
police
sword?
aren't gonna
Nobody.
talk to you. They're not even like
Not the
allowed to
Canadian
have
police.
guns where you live.
Not the Canadian police. Absolutely
Yeah, the
not.
Canadian police also have swords, but they're not 6 feet long.
It's like the RCMP arrives. They're like, "Oh, her sword is bigger than ours," and they leave.
Yeah,
Yeah, they don't want to get into a duel that day. They've had enough shit. Like, if you have a knife, they'll duel you with their sword. But if it's a real sword, no.
yeah. If it's a six
And if
feet long sword, then yeah, no thanks.
and if you remember, everybody in that photo was dressed in costume. They were dressed like Hobbit characters.
Yeah,
And I was dressed in a full-on suit because I was dressed as a producer.
dressed as the producer. Yeah,
Dressed as the producer. Everybody
very
found that funny.
pro Semite of you.
Hey, all I'm saying is I no longer want to wipe that country off the map. Okay, I am fine with it existing
Uh,
for now.
it's too close to 9/11. It's only been like what 4 or 5 days. It's too soon. It's too soon for me to say anything about this subject.
Yeah, it's only been like what 22 years.
Yeah, it's too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So we're gonna talk
uh,
about Taxi Driver or
I was gonna talk about the ending of the Lord of the Rings, but fine, we'll talk about Taxi Driver. You've been wanting to talk about Taxi Driver ever since I
yeah.
told you I'm autistic. It's like we started this podcast, and instead of the intro, he was like, "Okay, let's talk about Taxi Driver." I have to remind him that we have to do an intro.
I'm just gonna start citing all of the dialogue from Taxi Driver, and that's gonna be the entire podcast. It's just me reading the script.
You're talking to me.
Yeah, I won't like do any like voice inflections or anything like that. It'll all just be like my voice, so you can't tell who is saying what.
Red Sante's monotone. You talking to me, voice?
Are you talking to me?
Are you talking
Are
to
you
me?
talking to me?
Well, there isn't nobody here.
Yeah, that's that's what'll happen. That'll be the next episode. But
So,
anyways, so
what
yeah,
did you think
I
about Taxi
I did
Driver?
finally watch Taxi Driver. I was encouraged strongly to watch Taxi Driver, and I did. And I remember going into it. First of all, I have to say, there are going to be like true fans, some hardcore fans of the Garbage Mice out there that remember that the whole movie was like basically spoiled to me on an episode like a long time ago. I did not remember a single thing about that. There was like a whole monologue that you went on about Taxi Driver. I tuned out that entire thing, so I was going into the movie completely
Can, can,
blind.
can you tell another thing that I might have been interested in for an extended period of time?
Yeah, the only detail that stuck out was the existence of a very young lady of the night. That, that was kind of hard to forget. So I knew to expect that character at some point.
Yeah,
But other than that, I was going into it completely blind. So I just got to address that. But
yeah,
the thing that I could tell going into the movie when it started is that it was going to be a sad movie. Like I could just tell.
yeah.
It'll be a lot of sad themes in the movie. And I can kind of understand why a lot of people seem to relate to that movie now, why it is such a classic for a lot of people, because throughout the first half of the movie when they're developing his character, that like the character of Travis Bickle, of course,
Yep.
he is portrayed as unlikable. Like he is not someone who is very sociable. He's definitely antisocial, and he's a bit of a weirdo, and he's not good with girls. Like there's the funny scene when he's like at the theater and he tries to talk to the girl and it like completely goes wrong and she just gets upset at him, and then he gets the date with Betsy and he takes her to the like the inappropriate theater and whatnot, like all these blunders with girls.
Yep.
And that's it's kind of set up where the question of the movie is like, how does he fix this, because that's his goal. And
Yep.
then he has his hero moment where he like kills all the pimps and saves the young girl. And then the black pill, the sad ending of the movie, is that doesn't really improve his life at all. Like the question stays unanswered of like, how does this guy turn his life around? The question is never answered. And it's sort of illustrated that it's a lot easier to sort of have your moment and try to do the right thing than it is to actually solve your own problems and become a more functional person. And
See,
that's
I have to
probably
disagree.
something that a lot of people can relate to, like that fear that no matter what you do, you're never going to improve.
I have to disagree with you on multiple things.
Okay.
A, we're never shown him actually trying to change or improve his situation, but we're shown how he acts in his day-to-day life. And B, he wasn't looking for a hero moment. Because if you'll remember, he doesn't go, like, he's not preparing himself to save that girl in the beginning. He's preparing himself to assassinate the senator because he's still attached to Betsy.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? He's not the hero of that story, but he is very bitter. See, to me,
I
that's
mean,
what Taxi Driver.
He's definitely, in some ways, a villain. In a lot of ways.
I think he is mostly a villain as well.
Yeah.
Like not and you kind of feel bad for him. You kind of for me, I've always related to him on some level, and that was why I was Travis Bickle. I've always seen, and again, this goes back to me fucking hating, like, oh, am I evil? But like, I could see that he was alone. I could see that he was struggling with making connections. I could see that he felt outside of this world. It was like he was a cowboy just thrown into the modern world, and he had no direction. He couldn't sleep at nights. He lived alone in a room in a shitty house. He and he's angry in a way. He keeps seeing, how do I explain? I have to go back. He's drinking a lot. He's taking pills. He's not taking good care of his health. And he has no purpose in life, no direction. And what he's trying to do is not find direction or purpose. He stumbles onto direction and purpose, but in reality, he's just trying to pass on the days. You remember what he says? Days go on and they don't end. He's directionless, purposeless. And that is something I feel like a lot of people struggle with. And that is one of the reasons I used to empathize with Travis Bickle.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I mean, I've only seen the movie once, so I don't know, maybe I need to go watch it again, but it seemed to me like he was just kind of trying to do, several different things and just kind of see what worked.
Kind of, but you also have to remember that he is like when he takes that girl.
He tried a lot of
Betsy,
different things. Sorry, I'll let you continue, but he tried many different things, and while his life did improve in some ways, where like he got stronger and whatnot, he still has the same issues with his personality at the end of the movie. Like he fixes himself in a lot of ways, but there's still the one problem.
No. He says, "All right, no more pills, no more destroyers of my body." But you keep seeing him taking whiskey and pills. Even before he assassinates the senator, he takes some pills. He's not improving himself. He's deluding himself. He focuses on a single-minded goal. And to me, what you got to realize about Taxi Driver is that a lot of it is that he just can't communicate and can't seem to understand people. And you can see that most clearly in two scenes. The first one is when he goes out with the wizard. You know the wizard, the other taxi driver? He goes up to him and he goes, I got a lot of bad ideas in my head. He's telling him, hey, like, he doesn't know how to express it or how to get the point across.
Is this like when they're standing outside of the shop, the coffee shop?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember this scene then.
And he goes, I got a lot of bad ideas in my head. And the guy doesn't know how to comfort him, doesn't know how to tell him. He just tells him, dude, go get laid, go get whatever. But that's not what he's thinking about. He's thinking about destructive behaviors, and the guy doesn't seem to know it. Like, they seem to be talking about two completely different things, two completely different subjects. And that's when Travis goes off the deep end in the movie. It's right after that conversation, right after he tries to reach out, but can't. The other part of the movie that illustrates this more perfectly, in my opinion, is he doesn't know where to take Betsy. All right, he's got the girl. He's got her number. She's right there with him. This is the girl he's dreamed about, and he goes out. Hey, where do I take a girl like this? I don't know. He goes
to the spicy theater.
They go to the spicy theater, and she's upset, and he doesn't know why she's upset. He doesn't understand it. To him, it's normal. To him, it's just been part of his life for so long. And it's like they were speaking a different language, And later he gets angry at her because he thought she'd understand, but she didn't. And I don't know. I kind of related to it. And again, when he finally goes and shoots up that place, he doesn't do it out of benevolence. He does it out of just that need, that anger. It's a very angry movie, right?
Yeah.
He's, you know, and it is sad because at the end of the movie, he is given a chance to change. Betsy finally sees him for who he is, which is or not for who he is, but willing to give him a chance, willing to listen to him, to understand him, and to talk to him. But he rejects it. He would still rather live in his old ways, and he's a man who's comfortable where he is. He's comfortable being alone. He's comfortable being in a shitty New York apartment, working as a taxi driver. And, he's probably mentally ill. You can see like a scar on his back from Vietnam. You know that he's a Vietnam vet, right? Like that's one of
Yeah.
the first
I
things they
remember
tell us in
that.
the movie. So he is a troubled individual. But another thing he tells us is loneliness has followed him his entire life through bars, everywhere he goes is loneliness. He's God's lonely man.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I get, sometimes, especially back then, especially when I first came to Canada and didn't know how to make any friends. Dude, I didn't know where to find friends here. I didn't know where to find people. My own brother wouldn't even come talk to me. This is a bit of a like it's not that he didn't talk to me because he hated me. It's more that he had his own shit to deal with.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But in that time, to me that's what Taxi Driver is about. It's about loneliness. And I had people to talk to. I had people who loved me. I had great people in my life, but I couldn't see it. I never looked at what I had or what I have. I do look at what I have now, and I'm grateful for it. I'm very grateful for everybody who is in my life. But back then, it was hard to see all that, and so
Yeah.
kind of felt like Travis Bickle, and probably not the healthiest mindset.
Hmm.
He's judgmental. He looks down on people. He sees himself as different, as above, even though he really isn't. As we're shown, he's popping pills. He's doing. You remember that scene with Easy Andy?
Which one?
The guy, the arms dealer.
Oh yeah, the gun guy. Yeah.
That was a very interesting scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, he's like pointing the gun out the window at people.
But that's not what it's about. It's about the seller. It's about the guy selling him the guns and how he feels, and how he's infatuated by it, and how that completely changes when the guy starts talking about drugs.
Hmm.
It's very weird. It's
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't
I'll
know.
have to watch the movie again. I'm
It's
noticing now there's a lot of stuff that I definitely missed.
also the guy who wants to kill his wife in Travis
That
Bickle's
guy,
car.
yeah.
Yeah, that guy's the director, by the way.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, Martin Scorsese. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, there's a lot of, I don't know, mirrors pointed at Travis, and he can't fit in with the higher society that he loves so dearly, and he can't fit in with the lower society where they're doing things he finds morally reprehensible. He is actually genuinely racist, and that is only heavily implied in the movie, but it's a fact of it. It's a great movie, dude. And,
Mm-hmm.
I wish I didn't understand and relate to it so much.
Yeah, I don't think you want to be Travis Bickle. It's not a good
Dude,
spot to be in.
it is not a good spot, and I'm thankful that I'm not anymore. And
Well, that's good.
if anything, I'm kind of sad that I was to begin with. But I have to grow. People grow, people change. You have to go through these things sometimes. To me, I don't consider it as a regret. I consider it as it's just
It's
what do you
just
call
a
it?
stage of life.
It's not just life of development. This is just a stage that I had to go through in order to grow as a person. And
Yeah, you had the Travis Bickle era. And now it's
Travis
gone.
Bickle era. Now it's gone. Now it's the yippee era. Now it's the, oh no, I have a lot more in common with trannies than I would like to admit era. Because they're all autistic as well. See, that's the
Oh
joke.
man. All right. Well, we got anything else here, or are we good? We're at an hour 20.
Dude, are you so fucking pissed? Dude, you've talked. Do you really want to let me go that badly, Red Sante? Red Sante? Who's the other podcast host, huh? What's the other podcast you've been going on without me on?
Oh, me and Little Pizza Box, we've been going strong. We've been doing the Ukraine Trenches podcast.
Without me, Red Sante?
Yeah.
Come on, I get cheated too.
You
I get
aren't
cheated
in
on.
the trenches. I mean, I'm not either, but like I'm special.
Well, I don't know. Part of me doesn't want to end this podcast. I feel like there's a lot more to be said, but on the other hand, it's just a fucking podcast. Doesn't really give a shit. Red Dog Richard, take off that goddamn fursuit. I know you're watching the podcast with it on right now, which is weird. Please, I don't even want to think what he's doing in that suit.
Okay, I think we need to cut it off here.
Does that suit have a crotch?
Okay, thank you.
Richard?
Thank you for listening to the Garbage Mice podcast.
It haunts me.
Make sure to subscribe to the Garbage Mice Patreon that we should probably just delete at this point.
Yeah.
Make sure to check out garbagemice.net for all links to everything. We even have links to okay, I can't talk about what we have links to. It's not very
We have
legal.
links on how to make a pipe.
Yeah, how to make a pipe. Yeah. Like a crack pipe.
Like just
How to make a crack pipe. You can find that on garbagemice.net. Go there.
Step number 1. Go to the garbagemice.com. .net. Garbagemice.net. Because there you'll find instructions.
Don't go to garbagemice.com. Rusty Cage owns that one.
Yeah, Rusty Cage will have your IP. And you can't trust him with your IP, but you can trust Red Sante. Right, Red Sante?
I won't have it either. You're connecting to like Google servers if you go to garbagemice.net.
Yeah, sure. I don't fucking know. But don't go to garbagemice.com. That is the trash rats. It's owned by the rivals. It's owned by the enemy.
Let me see. Does it still... I remember he bought the domain and then just had it redirect to like stupididiots.com. I wonder if it still does that. Or I wonder if it expired.
Maybe it
I'm
did.
gonna check that right now.
It's been over a year.
Because if that still exists, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, I think it still exists. Or no, it doesn't exist anymore. He's changed it.
I'm trying to connect to this thing here. Oh my, it is not working. Great web browser I got here. All right. This is staying in the episode.
You know what? I'm down with it. Hey, you want to start another subject? You want to talk about something else?
Okay, we'll do like one more while I see if I can buy garbagemice.com.
I want to talk about the Lord of the Rings ending.
Okay.
Dude, the ending goes on for so fucking long. Like, alright, the big adventure ends. Everybody's like back home. It's all the happy characters. They all made it home. Hooray! And that's not the end of the story. Because then they have to show you the new king being crowned, and everybody's happy at the ceremony. And this other person shows up, and they all bow to these little children. And then it keeps going. And then they're all in a bar, having a drink together. And while they're drunk, a guy says, "That woman looks beautiful. I think I will marry her." And then it doesn't end, because it shows you them actually getting married. And everybody's at the wedding. And it's such a happy wedding. And things are good. And it doesn't end there, because now we're going back to the perspective of the main character who is writing all of this in a book. And then it doesn't end, because now you have the other main cast coming back to him, telling him, "We need you for one last adventure." Arr. And then it doesn't end because they show you them actually going to that boat and being like, I have to leave now, my friend. And he's like, no, don't leave me, friend. And he's like, but I have to. So here's my book. Publish it using Penguin. Goodbye. And then it doesn't end because it shows you him going back to his home, to his loving wife and children. They're showing us how much he loves his children. And at that point, I'm like, are they going to show us the children going to fucking college? It was insane. Dude, the ending took up... Like, the story's ended. It's fine. Just leave it alone. It was great. I love the fucking Lord of the Rings trilogy. What's Sante?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm buying GARBAGEMICE.com. It's available.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, so now you can go to not only GARBAGEMICE.net but GARBAGEMICE.com.
Based.
Yeah. All right. I think we're done here.
Are we? Come on.
What
feel
else?
like we got an
What
extra
else
5
do you
minutes.
have? Because I'm getting tired here.
See, that's the problem because you're drinking fucking alcohol.
Hey,
You know?
I finished it a while ago. I'm on the come down.
I want to say this at the end.
Yeah.
I keep going on and on and on about how back in home country this and back in home country that, and how that should be the baseline for everything. But you know, maybe it's time I stop living back in home country. Maybe it's time to accept that different places in the world are different. And I'm in Canada now, and I live in Canada, and now Canada is home country.
And you're assimilating into the culture.
Dude, I have so much more to talk about. Like, I went on a fucking trip to this island. We haven't talked about the trip to the island, dude. Stayed there for like 5 days. It was great.
Yeah, we could
It
talk about the trip
island...
to the island. Go ahead.
Dude, so this whole time I've been living in Vancouver, right? And Vancouver is like this metropolis, huge metropolis with a bunch of, international people living here. I went to that island. And it was exactly what I imagined Canada to look like. Everything was like moose and maple leaf themed and beaver themed. Like, the houses were made out of wood. It was very rural. And everybody there, and this blew my fucking mind. It actually fucking floored me. Everyone there was native Canadian. Or not everyone, but like 90%. And it was rarer to see somebody who was, an immigrant, or obviously an immigrant or an ethnic minority, rather than, European white people, which does sound racist now that I say it like this. But dude, Canadians were like a fucking unicorn in Vancouver. to be able to live in a place where everybody's Canadian, even if it's just for a few days, it made me realize, you know what? This is what I was looking for this whole time in Canada. Just this sense that there is a community. Everybody smiled at each other. People were coming up to me to talk to me and like relax and chill, and it was so nice, so cool. I told you all that, and it sucked ass, but it was different and nice. I still want to live in Vancouver instead. I don't want to go there anymore.
You don't want to live on the island.
No, absolutely not. But for a little getaway, for a little like 5-day retreat, it was good. And I'm glad I went there.
Yeah.
It was funny seeing. It was funny seeing like what I always thought Canada would be. Finally, after 4 years in this country, and then realizing it's not all cracked up to be. I don't know why I put it on such a high pedestal. Like, it wasn't bad at all. I loved it. But given the choice between living there and living in Vancouver, I'd live in Vancouver. Why do you seem so like short? You like, oh man, it's time to end this episode. I think I have time for another topic.
I'm getting really tired. Like, I'm being serious.
Did I tell you about my headphones? I got new headphones.
What headphones did you get?
Technics AZ
What the
70W.
It sounds like you're You're like plugged into like Xi Jinping's MP3 player. You're hearing
Dude, they're noise
the
canceling.
sounds of Sun Tzu.
They're noise canceling. It's great.
Huh. Yeah, I have nice headphones and they're good.
Yeah,
I got me some Sennheisers.
that's based.
Yeah, they're very
Do you want to
based.
talk about them? Let's talk about them.
Okay.
Are they noise canceling?
No, they're the complete opposite of noise canceling. They have holes in the sides. So I can literally hear everything like around me.
Actually,
I
this is another
I
feature
have
on
the
noise.
HD 600 if you want to look them up.
Another feature of noise canceling headphones is they have a mode like that where the microphones on the
Yeah, they like
outside, like,
pick up the outside.
yeah,
Yeah, my headphones, they just don't block any noise at all, which is actually kind of nice. Like when I had to go to jury duty, I was
dude,
just like wearing these and I could hear
these are
everyone around me.
$500. Are you shitting me?
No, no one pays that much for them. I got mine for like 200.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like
I got mine for 200 as
they go
well.
on sale constantly.
I got mine are like 400 as well, but they were on sale when I got them, and I paid $200 for them. It was great.
Yeah.
Which 200 Canadian is like what, 150 US? What is
Something like
200
that.
Canadian CAD to USD?
It's like 20
Yeah,
bucks.
150. It was like 147.75, which is basically 150.
Yeah.
And you know what? I should have bought AirPods instead.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have gone for these. I think I'm gonna just
I don't
buy
know.
AirPods.
I have I do have a pair of like wireless earbuds, like Bluetooth earbuds that I
Yeah,
got, and they were literally the cheapest on Amazon. Like they were $7, I think,
yeah.
and they are indistinguishable from AirPods. Like
In terms of,
I have
dude,
a pretty
AirPods
good
are
ear
noise
for like
canceling.
music sound and like how headphones sound. I have a pretty good ear for that stuff.
Hmm?
I'm telling you, they are indistinguishable from like actual AirPods.
No, but I'm talking like AirPods Pro with the noise cancellation.
Yeah, they don't have noise cancellation, that's true, but
Yeah, that's
I
what I
don't think the
want.
noise cancellation is worth the extra like $250 or whatever.
Dude, when you're walking, all right, there's two modes for me. A, when I'm walking in the morning and there's so many cars, so many fucking people on the subway talking, being complete cunts, and I just put on the noise cancellation, and it's quiet, and everything's okay. That's mode number one. Mode number two is when it's 3 a.m. in the morning and I'm going on my midnight walk. Because I like to walk so much
Yeah, and you
nowadays.
want to like hear if like a crackhead runs up behind you.
Pretty much. Speaking of which, I believe I'm actually fucking Forrest Gump because I just walk sometimes or run. You know the whole thing where
Yeah,
I just, for
Forrest
no
just
particular
runs.
reason, I just started running. Meanwhile, the reason, you know why he started running?
It's because the girl told him to, right?
No, that's in the beginning of the movie, but I'm talking
No.
like in the end when
Oh, the ending of the movie. No, I
when
don't
he's
know.
going across America.
I haven't watched that movie in like a decade.
He's processing his trauma by
Uh,
running. Dude, he lost his best friend in Vietnam.
yeah, I
Like the
remember
movie's
that.
played as a comedy, but it's so fucking dark. I swear to God. Dude
Yeah.
fucking lost his friend, saw his commanding officer get disabled, and then he went and played ping pong.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
such.
always thought it was kind of funny. It's like, oh wow, great comedy film, guys. And then like the part where like Jenny gets AIDS or whatever. It's like,
Oh
wow,
my
wow,
God.
this is real funny. I remember
Dude,
watching that film on like it was like a school field trip and they put that movie on in like the bus.
no. No, that is not a movie for children. Ah,
We were watching the scene where it's revealed that the Jenny has AIDS.
oh
We're
my
all
God.
cracking up. It's like yeah,
No, no,
that's
that's
a
even
real
worse.
comedy there.
That's, this is, that was a tragic scene. Come on, dude. Come on.
Oh man.
Je- Jenny, Jenny's closed due to AIDS.
Jenny is now off limits due to AIDS.
Ah, maybe I shouldn't mock people with AIDS because you know how that went
Uh,
when I mocked Rusty Cage.
I think
I
a
think I
couple
should,
months from now, artillery
dude.
physical exam review or a
Artillery
reveal.
STD sheet, and it's just I got all of them.
He got a 100% passing grade.
Like,
Oh man, why are we being funny now that we're an hour and a half into this?
because we're fucking tired. And again, we just finished with the heavy topics. Speaking of
Yeah,
which, do you think this was a good episode? We're gonna keep this part of the episode. Do you think this was a
yeah,
good
I thought it
episode?
was pretty good.
Yeah,
I thought it was all right.
it's good to be mature about things sometimes, and sometimes it's funny to be like, I have the Forrest Gump brain, but other times
Yeah,
you
sometimes
have
it's
to come
funny
to
to laugh at Jenny having AIDS.
shut the fuck up. Oh my god.
That was hilarious. We were
Okay,
busting
okay.
a gut laughing at Jenny having AIDS.
Jenny has AIDS. Shut up. It's a good movie, okay? Shit.
That's what the title of this should be. It should literally be like just Jenny has AIDS. Garbage Mice number 65 or whatever we're
Maybe
on.
no. So the title is going to be Artillery Gender Reveal because that's the intro joke. But maybe, maybe, maybe under like the thumbnail at the very bottom in very small text, it should just say
Jenny has
Jenny
AIDS.
has AIDS. and and people will click off the video. People will click off the podcast halfway through, and then they'll see it in their recommenders, and they're like, "Why does it say Jenny has AIDS?" Meanwhile, the weird guys who are still here with us in the end are like, "Oh
Yeah,
yeah, no,
they
this makes
know.
perfect sense."
You're let in on the deep knowledge, the deep
Garbage Mice
esoteric lore.
lore. This is the same level as Red Sante's sister. With Red Sante's sister, we know who's a real fan and who isn't. This is also the same for Red Sante's sister has AIDS.
Hey, no. No. Oh, that's too far.
That's too far. Oh, man. But Jenny's not too far, huh? Is it because she's a
Uh,
fictional character?
no, it's because my sister's name isn't Jenny.
And she's also a fictional character, though.
That hasn't been confirmed or denied.
Hmm. So, Red Sante's sister might be real.
I
Well, I mean, there's a
I
chance.
haven't confirmed it. I haven't denied it.
Can I have her number?
You gotta.
I'm, s- dude. I'm single. I gotta get laid soon. It's been what, 4 years? Fuck. 5 years? No, not even. It's been fucking. It has been 4 years since I felt the touch of a woman. Okay, come
Oh
on,
no! Come
help a
on.
brother, dude. I was
Uh,
loyal.
we have like plenty of jokes written down for the spinner of cursed dinners that you're gonna like try to hit on my sister.
So fucking
Yeah.
true. We should have like a trash can dressed as a woman.
Oh, that would be good. Or we get like a mannequin, then we take it outside and like hit it with my car or something. Okay, if we can somehow acquire like a mannequin for really cheap, I'll hit it with my car and like risk denting it
I'm
just
going on
for the video.
Craigslist right now. Okay,
Yeah.
but if a mannequin doesn't work, we can get a blow up doll, though, right?
Oh yeah. That wouldn't be as funny though, because there's like no risk to it denting my car.
You're actually gonna dent your car for the spinner.
I feel like that would be really funny if I took that risk of like almost denting my car with the mannequin.
$20 mannequin.
You found a
Porchester
$20 mannequin?
mannequin.
I'm going on
Porchester
Amazon. I'm looking this
mannequin.
up.
No, it's on Craigslist. You gotta go on Craigslist
Okay.
for the cheap stuff. Stands about 5 feet tall.
Yeah, I'm finding plenty of full body mannequins. Okay, maybe this can actually happen.
Oh my god. Spinner of cursed dinner is real. Dude, It's gonna be soon.
It's got to happen eventually. I still want to do it really badly.
I'm down, dude. Like I'm fucking down.
Yeah, it'll happen soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm down. Shit, can't believe it. Can you believe it?
I cannot believe it.
Man. It's funny how I started this podcast because I was listening to the trash rats in the fucking restaurant, and now I'm here.
Yeah, now we're talking about hitting mannequins with my car.
What the fuck's going on outside? There's a goat outside.
A goat?
A goat.
Like an actual animal, a goat outside.
What the fuck? I'm not gonna go.
I would not go outside if I were you.
I,
That thing is gonna
I'm
kick you
I'm just
in the sack.
I'm just gonna close. Dude, it's an urban area. Why is there a fucking goat here?
I was gonna say, like, I don't think you live like out in the country. How did a goat get
No,
there?
no. How did the goat get here?
I think you're getting pranked. I think this is like a Garbage Mice fan. Just
Oh
left a
my god.
goat there.
Oh my god.
What?
Richard. Oh no.
Maybe
The
that's him.
furry.
He's dressed as the goat. Maybe it's him.
This is why I've been training this whole time. This is why I've been going to the gym. Finally, it's finally time to happen.
You're gonna go like roundhouse kick the goat outside.
Just kick it in the face.
You're gonna launch that thing into the stratosphere. Just kick the goat. Punch the
Kick
goat.
the goat. Kick the goat. Kick the goat.
Kick the goat.
Dude, what the
That's-
what is this?
That would be a great TikTok for the rubbish rodents to upload. It's like the title is just like Syrian man kicks goat.
You know what I've
there's
been
like a
thinking
funny
about?
sound effect. But what?
I've been thinking about deleting the Discord and just putting the link to the rubbish road in Discord instead.
The rubbish rodent Discord. No, don't delete our Discord. There's too many good, logs and whatnot. Don't pull a Rusty. You already got cucked. You don't need to be any more like Rusty. You don't need to delete the Discord.
I did apologize to Rusty though. I don't know if you read it.
Are you talking about a long time ago, or is this another one? Oh, no. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This was like months ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Didn't you transfer the Discord to me, so like you can't even delete it?
Oh yeah, I did.
Ah,
Oh
there we
no.
go. The server's safe.
Let me double check. Oh, I can't. Fuck. Well, shit.
Yeah, there we go. I could delete the server. I have the button here. I got
Don't
the
do
big
it.
red
We're
button.
in the server right now. So it actually.
I could end this episode right now. I could end this conversation by literally deleting the server that we're in.
Don't do a Rusty, man.
No, I won't.
Like, you know what's funny?
Yeah, what?
I think I finally realized why Toot hates BoJack Horseman so much.
What is this topic? What? Okay, go ahead.
Well,
Go on your monologue.
BoJack Horseman is a really introspective show, right?
I don't know anything about it. It just looks weird.
It looks weird, and it is weird, but it's also about the nature of human connection and how cycles of abuse, and it's a very mental health centered show. It's basically about people trying not to be the worst versions of themselves, trying to be the best. And the central character, BoJack Horseman, it's very self-destructive, very narcissistic, and even though he's quite sympathetic, at the end of the day, he is quite a bad character in a way. You can even say he's a bad person, and he's done a lot of awful shit. And the
Okay.
show forces you to think about this stuff, right? And it's got a lot of wacky cartoon hijinks. But I have two theories on why Toot hates BoJack Horseman. Theory number one is my own theory, which is when you don't want to feel this kind of things, when you don't want to think about this kind of thing, when you want to distance yourself from those emotions, you just kind of hate everything that reminds you of it. Music, shows, anything. And, BoJack Horseman is a very highly rated cartoon. Toot loves cartoons, but also, maybe doesn't want to think about this shit or talk about it, so Toot hates BoJack. Other issue, Toot just loves wacky cartoon hijinks, and BoJack is very fucking depressing.
Okay.
We should get Toot on to confirm. Hold on, let me ping.
Is Toot still in the server?
I don't
I
know.
know it's a ton of people have left. Like Erica left, a bunch of like old
No,
guests
not
left.
Erica.
Yeah, that was something that we found out on stream. It was a very sad moment.
Wait, is Toot even still around?
I have Toot on my friends list, but
Check.
I don't.
Check. I don't see Toot.
So, yeah, John K. apologist. Yeah, Toot might not be in the server anymore.
John. Is John K. Apologist even still around? Like, I think their email's deleted. No, I'm sorry, not their email. Their Discord
So
profile.
no, their Discord still exists. Like a
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we got anything else left here? I'm like actually getting tired. Like I don't know how much longer I want to keep doing this.
Fair enough. You know what? I'll listen to you for once.
All right. Yeah, we've been going for an hour and 47 minutes.
Yeah, sorry about
There's
that.
been a big dump of content this week because I spent like over an hour on stream talking about a meme about women wojacks. and then we get this
Jesus.
where we get artillery and his rambles once more. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right.
Yeah.
I already did the outro earlier, so you can just rewind to that part and play it again.
We'll put a timestamp in the comments.
Yeah, if you want to hear the outro again at the actual end of the podcast, I'll put the time on screen.
Dude, they just keep listening to the outro, and then we keep going, and then they keep listening to the outro, and then we keep going. We just get like a huge
that would be
spike
great for
in
our
watch time.
analytics.
Yeah.
All right. Well, goodbye.
Thank you, guys.